This is CGTN, China Global Television Network.
Hello there, welcome to this edition of Global Business Africa. In the course of the hour, we'll run through all the business news stories you need to know about from right across the continent. Quite a bit to get through, so let's start with a run through the markets. Welcome back to the program. Now, as peace slowly returns to Africa's youngest country, the government in South Sudan is looking for a lot more FDI to flow in. President Salva Kiir was recently in the United Arab Emirates to try and woo investors from the Gulf state into the East African country. With the details, here's CGTN's Patrick Oyet.
South Sudan's government says it wants investment in infrastructure, energy and oil sectors. Juba says it has made a number of concessions to investors from the United Arab Emirates, including stopping double taxation and providing them with visas upon arrival in South Sudan.
A signal to the international community that we are ready to do business, that peace has come, and we are ready now to receive investments and to solicit external funds to help us with the developmental effort in the Republic of South Sudan.
South Sudan's government says it has secured a grant of $10 million from the UAE. Juba says the money would be used to support small and medium enterprises in South Sudan. Some investors in the country say the East African country still has an enormous need for support.
There are few banks. The population is lowly banked. There's a high need for financial inclusion. Most transactions are moving outside the financial ecosystem.
South Sudanese banks have stopped giving new loans during several years of conflict. Some people who were loaned money fled the country and have not made repayments. Many established businesses in South Sudan closed when war broke out in the country in 2013. A peace deal signed by former rival groups last year is currently at its infancy stage of implementation, and some analysts say serious investors may avoid South Sudan for now unless peace returns to the country. Patrick Oyet, CGTN, Juba, South Sudan.
Cabinet ministers from Africa's youngest country have also met with investors in South Africa and business leaders as well at the Invest in South Sudan roadshow in Johannesburg. CGTN's Angelo Coppola was there.
The roadshow met potential investors in Washington, D.C., New York and Dubai before visiting Johannesburg. The continent's newest country has an abundance of oil and fertile arable land covering around 80% of its 800,000 square kilometers. And to sweeten the pot even more, the Investment Authority has a series of incentives in place.
South Sudan investment law is very generous when it comes to investors. We have, at times, we can even go as far as 5 years tax holidays. We've got concessions, we have got waivers, we have got special professional treatment that we can give to special strategic investing opportunities. So we have these, and they are there on the table. People choose what they want to go for.
The country produces around 300,000 barrels of crude oil every day. There's a challenge and an opportunity in that sector.
Midstream, that is where the problem lies, where there are no production facilities in South Sudan. Again, that is an opportunity. It's equivalent to around 15 million. If you refine these 300,000 barrels, it can produce about 15 million tons of products. And what is the East African requirement? It's even less than that.
The government is looking for investors to get involved in this opportunity, and it appears that they are flexible when it comes to establishing businesses locally.
An investor can choose to become a foreign company with no partners. They can choose to become partners with the local. But we sometimes prefer the biggest companies to be purely 100% a foreign company, so that it is their policies, it is their management, and then they know the risk.
As the delegation paint a rosy picture of the opportunities on offer, the situation in neighboring Khartoum remains volatile.
But if you take South Sudan and Sudan, they've been one country, the nation know themselves, but apart from that, The both countries depends on each other, on the economy, and also the 75% of oil that we used to have with Sudan is in South Sudan. Pipelines run to Sudan. So there is no way that they can have problem with South Sudan.
Like any newborn, the optimism is high that South Sudan is going to achieve its objectives and attract all that investment and grow its economy. Time will tell. I'm Angelo Coppola for CGTN in Johannesburg, South Africa.